All right. We're back. Today is Tuesday, August 23rd. And, we got no music going. What's up with that? Let's get some music going. That's better. Without the music, man, it just feels drab. So drab without the music. All right, so we are jumping in here today. Let's go ahead and jump in. So market's looking a little bit better than it did yesterday. Yesterday and for the last couple of days, over last week and stuff like that, we had a lot of bearish movement. Today's a little bit of bullish action, not much. Our highs of the day today are what our lows of the day were yesterday. So, but if we pull this out here, like on a 30-minute chart, you can see that we've pretty much just been going down since August 16th. So for about a week, the market's been correcting pretty heavily. Let's see if we can go out to a daily chart. I will say that Tradeovate's charts are okay. They're not great, but they're not bad either. So on the daily chart, you can see here with the 200 moving average on the daily, you can see that, like, you can visually see the downward decline. You can visually see how since about January or December or so, like January, December, you can see how the market's been declining. We've had this sort of like this rebound here where we're coming up and we're hitting these highs of like around April and whatnot. And we're coming up and hitting that area, but you can see acted as resistance where this was the lows in April around that time. And you can see that when we came up and tried and tested this, that area acted as resistance. This 200 moving average has actually acted as resistance pretty much the entire year. So for the last year or so, or last 7-8 months, this 200 moving average has been acting as resistance, and we're a long way from slipping back into a bull market. So number one, if you can make profit when the market is bearish like this, good job. Number two, we are getting this bounce today. Michael Burry, I was reading some of his content, and he was essentially saying that we've got this dead cat bounce going on here. And really that anybody who gets kind of like duped by this, into thinking you're essentially, some profit or something like that, or that the market's back on a bull run, you may want to rethink your position. So he obviously said it a bit more crass than that, but I don't remember exactly what he said. So we are actually getting a nice bounce above VWAP. So our goal today is going to essentially, we've been playing it safe for the last couple of days. We're up to 68.04 on the eval. Yeah, something like that. And let's go ahead and see if we can take advantage of some of these moves here. It looks like this is starting to flip back up with a bounce off VWAP area here. Looking for an entry. Entry might be right around this 41.56 level. We've got a high. We actually just made a new high, 41.6175. It looks like we're going to come up and attempt to test those. So we hit this high over here. Then TTM was nice and right. We did pull back quite a bit. Not terrible though. We did stay above VWAP to about the 48 level, and getting a TTM turnaround. TTM still -3, so I don't feel 100% comfortable with the position here, at least for a long position. And I don't really feel comfortable for a short position because you see we have very little movement in this candle here. This candle actually may end up as a hammer candle. We've got 1 minute left on it. This is a new candle here. I'd be looking for this one to break upward. Yeah, it didn't, so at least not yet. It might by the end of the candle. but not yet. Just gonna check in with you guys and just say, okay, so hey, what's up, Tiny? Good to see you here. Got a couple of viewers today. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We do this live every day, Monday through Friday, and we're just trading the markets live, earning funding in Elite Trader Funding here. So if y'all want to be a part of that, part of this community that we're building here, it's small right now, but it's going to get much, much larger in the coming months. And yeah, join us. All right, now we'll see if there's a bounce off of the 50. Watch this just like rip down. Honestly, it looks like it will bounce, but it looks like it's going to essentially bounce either on this candle or like the next candle. It might have like a tiny little U-shaped thing. Considering a long here for that bounce that I was mentioning off of the 50. TTM is still not looking great though. TTM to me says that we may continue to the downside, and that's what's happening with that candle. Put the push down. New candle in 2 seconds. This candle open green. Looking for a possible entry right now. I'm not entering into any positions at the moment. Just kind of getting some in the sideways action. I want to see more like moves like this. This is areas that we've done well in, is essentially where we have these like multi-candle rips where you can see the trend slightly reverses. Honestly, this would have been a good area for us to go short because you saw we were watching this candle here. So we definitely could have taken a trade or two through this short level. But yeah, just didn't do it. This candle that opened green actually ended red, almost. Got 5 seconds on it for it to continue green. Okay, so new candle. It's looking more to the green side for this one. $41.50 acting as resistance. Promise we're going to take some trades. Just looking for something that I can really connect with. Okay, I would take a short on this one. Maybe off of right here.
Order filled.
You're looking for 2 ticks down. Hands over the cover button.
Order filled.
Cut that one. Loss of 108. Should have cut it a little bit sooner the moment I saw that go green. So loss of 108. So that puts us on our evaluation up 159. So first one being L, not fun. And it looks like it's turning around on me. So jump back into the chart here. Kind of filled it at the top of that candle. I was afraid it was going to rip, especially after this much pullback. So looks like we could have held through it and gotten the trade. Gonna switch to 3 ticks. Okay, now we're gonna break through the VWAP. This could try and reverse. Currently up 0.1% on the day. When we were up here, we were up like 0.3% on the day. Since this is right at VWAP, I don't feel comfortable taking the position, and honestly, not sure if I should have taken that position. Honestly, like it ended up being right. We just more or less hit our limit, or stop limit, if you will. Which time we got? We got 30 seconds left on this candle. Continue to rip downward. 1, 2, 3. 3 reds in a row. So one of the strats that we've been doing is essentially when this candle does this big rip, we basically, when it fills back up in whatever direction, that's usually when we take a long or take a short. So like right here, it is filling back up. So when it drops down, we'd be looking to potentially go long for like 2 ticks at the bottom of wherever it drops down to. So this one's ripping back up towards the VWAP. A bounce off of the 200 might be a decent move. 28 seconds. And that would have been, that would have been the move right there. Is off of that 200. It's always a sketch, of course, because it can just rip down on you. But they can just rip on the other direction. 3, 2, 1. Got a doji here at the bottom.
Order filled.
Sitting at break even at the moment. Just looking for a tiny pop. $20 seconds left on this candle.
Order filled.
All right, so we did get a pause trade on that one. That puts us down 42 on the day. We got 3 ticks on that one. So when we lost 4 ticks, so that's $100. But we had the additional $8.72 in fees. So with this one, we won 3 ticks, $75 with our $8.72 in fees. So that puts us on that trade, 75 minus our 872 in fees. So that puts us up on that trade 66.28, and our first trade was 100 plus the 872. The fees can actually really impact your P&L, so it's really important to be aware of those fees. Futures fees are killer. It's basically per contract, so it's $4.36 for two contracts in each direction. So divide that by 2. So it's $2.18 per contract in and $2.18 per contract out. So basically, a round trip is $4.36 per contract. So 2 is 872, 3 is more, etc. So the way I look at it is it's $4.36 per contract. And so, if you have 5 contracts, you're looking at $21.80 in fees. So you've got to make sure that you're essentially taking enough profit in your trade in order to cover those fees. And even if you take 1 tick, you're always going to be in profit with it. But it's just a matter of, nice rip up. Let's see if there's an entry here. You're looking for an entry like right there, maybe off that 9. That's actually too high or too low of an entry. And be looking like right there.
Order filled.
Join the bid for that quick pop up. 3 ticks. There we go. Filled. We got that 3 ticks. Okay, we're officially in profit on the day. $23.84. So we did come back from that $108 loss. which is great. Without fees, we'd be up 150. So that'd make us up 50, but fees we have to account for. So it's just part of the game. It's cost of doing business. Okay, we got 30 seconds left in this candle. I'd actually be looking for this candle to retrace some. So like a join bid here, like right in this area. My sketch is if it's going to draw back down with this big upwick, essentially indicating that selling pressure. As far as indicator wise, we're bearish on the indicators. So the indicators are telling us, hey, we're probably going to go down. Being above the VWAP or right at the VWAP could offer support, but you can see TTM is flashing in between bearish and reversal trend. All of these are bearish. We've got the 9 on the down. We've got the 12 on the down. The 35 is still in bullish. The 50 is still in bullish. 35 is showing downward momentum, and the 26 is supporting that downward momentum. So a lot of indication that we're going to be going downward. With the one exception of the 200 moving average on the downside and trading at the VWAP. Even though we're slightly below it, slightly below, slightly above, basically is at. So yeah, this is so we're up 291.88 in our eval. Again, we took that $100 loss, or $108 loss, and we made back 2 trades at 66.28. So that put us up, 132 minus that 108, 108.28 or something like that. Anyway, we're up 23.84 on the day. So up small, up as green is good though. TOS doesn't allow you to choose how many ticks I want to trade. Does yours? Yeah, it does. So Tiny, if you're using, I don't know if you do or not, but let me log into my TOS and I'll show you. But on, I'll show you Tradeovate here real fast. On Tradeovate side of things, you can see there's this price ladder, and basically I can create brackets. You can actually do the same thing on TOS. On TOS, it's going through the process. On TOS, you can create strategies, I guess you would say, or create they're called bracket orders. And if you'll notice, I actually do bracket orders a lot. The tick looks like a music note. Let me show you on TOS side. It's just loading up and getting logged in and all that type of stuff. In the meantime, while that's loading, I'm just going to jump over here and Tradeovate charts. And getting a rip up through the VWAP after a doji on the bottom. This 200 has acted as support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now 6 times that 200 has acted as support. We could actually see this trend reverse and flip to the upside, which would be awesome, honestly. $41.47. Okay, so Tiny, here we are in TOS. Over here, let me fix this chart. I don't know why it does that. You'll see this little thing here. That's a tick. So it's called a tick offset. So if you happen to create this little setup here, which is, these are called bracket orders, you basically can be like, okay, I'm going to create a template. See up here where you've got template, you can click this, and then there's a default ones, which is single OCO, trigger with brackets, trigger with 2 brackets, 3 brackets. So what you want is a trigger with bracket or a trigger with 2 brackets. 2 brackets essentially would include like an additional, like a take profit or something like that. But if you click trigger with brackets, and make sure auto send is on, you can have, this is your stop loss down here at the bottom, which you can switch to a stop or a trailing stop. So stop being a hard stop, trailing stop meaning it moves up with you, and then you've got this up top as limit. You want to click this button here, which allows you to go from percentage to plus or minus, which is a value offset, which would be like, plus or minus like 50 cents or something like that. Or you've got the tick offset. When you click the tick offset, then you can go over here to quantity, and in the quantity side of things, or sorry, the offset, quantity is actually your contracts. When you go over here to offset, so you've got this little button here. So you want it to look like the music note, and then right here you'll put plus, and then let's say I want 3 ticks, so let's put +3. And then if you want to turn off a stop loss, you can just uncheck that mark there. And so down over here, so you can see like we're getting a nice little rip up. And so I can just click in the price ladder, and I'm in, and then I'm out. And that took 3 ticks off at 5 contracts for a total of 187.50. So that's how you can use ticks in like bracket orders in TOS, in order to take advantage of that stuff. So I hope that was helpful, Tiny. Do I mean OCO orders? Yes and no. I use bracket. OCO is basically the same as bracket, but I use trigger with bracket because it automatically creates that template for me. So I just don't see it yet. Do you trade it on Price Ladder? Just curious. Okay, so we're getting this sort of like, we had this rip during that time. You saw we took that like 3 tick move here on this green candle. Drop down to 41.40. No, ooh, big rip down. Glad I wasn't in that. We could actually see a trend reversal here, just because you can kind of see the indicators are getting closer together. So we got that convergence happening. Now I got TOS over. Okay, it's ripped all the way down to the 200 from being above the VWAP. Such a big rip down. We went from 41.50, which acted as pretty solid resistance at that 41.50 level, even though we got slightly above it to like 41.51. And we ripped all the way down like $8, all the way down to 41.43. So like $7-8, we dropped down. That's such a big rip to the downside. Like, this is almost like a shady move, practically. It honestly, like, it looks like we're going to switch to bearish action. You can see we were bearish at the open, and that trend reversed at like 6:45, 9:45 Eastern. So this honestly looks like we're going to switch to that bearish movement. You can see we dipped below the 200, and we're actually making kind of some lower lows. We're still super close to the 200, so that doesn't give me a ton of confidence, but it also does look like it's going to run down. So speaking of which, I'm going to see if we can get a short position after this candle fills back up. We got 10 seconds or so on this candle. I was honestly looking for this candle to like fill back up to maybe like 42 and then take a short off that. But that many reds in a row with that much momentum. Might see this one fill back up to like the 200. Right now, it's like it's almost like range trading right now. I feel less comfortable taking a position after most of the momentum move. Tiny, that's awesome. Very happy that you found that. That is one of the ways that I'm able to. Excuse me. Gotta stay stretched out. I think I went a little too hard at the gym yesterday. I'm kind of extra sore. But yeah, that's one of the things that I've done in order to help me stay profitable. Join the ass here.
Order filled.
For rip down.
Order
okay,
filled.
Got that. That was 3 ticks to the down. That puts us up 90 on the day. Our profit target's around 100 to 200 bucks, and potentially around 300 bucks if we can. But yeah, we're just hanging out. Definitely hit our beginning of our profit goal here, getting into good territory in terms of profit. Up 358.16 in our evaluation. So we're making progress. 358.16 out of 200 or 2,000. 8.16 divided by that 2,000. We are at almost 18% toward our goal. Super pumped about that. Getting kind of like a hammer candle on this, although I didn't think it's going to keep ripping down like it is. Where's the top? I'm like tempted to take a short right there. Guess I should have. Essentially, we were looking to take a short right here at 58 or 38 and for a 3 tick. So we would have needed to drop down to here, this level, which we did get. So that short would have worked out. But right now we're getting some shorts being covered after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red candles. 3 of them with huge momentum on them. So with that much of momentum on the short side, definitely going to see some people filling some shorts. And when they fill those shorts, I love saying that, by the way. When they fill their shorts, we might see them rip up to around the 200 moving average here. So I certainly don't want to be caught in a short position when it runs up there, because that would make us fail our evaluation. So 41.44. So $6 is essentially the extension off of the 200. 6 times 4, that's 24 ticks. At 2 contracts, that's 25 a tick. So that's like $600. I guess it wouldn't make us fail our evaluation, but certainly wouldn't feel good. It'd put us negative on the day and negative in our eval. So I'm not looking to end up caught in that. Now, subsequently, I could take a long for an anticipation up there, but yeah, that's way too sketchy to me. So this is continuing to fall down. Completely retrace the entire candle on that one. We keep opening green and then ending slightly red. It's kind of weird, and I'm sure people who are more experienced and smarter than me know exactly how to profit off of this. But and I'm sure that I have the opportunity to take trades in here and potentially make profit off of it. But I'm just my goal is to take trades that I 100% have confidence in, which is hard to do. To be honest, it's really challenging to take a trade that you have at least 95% confidence in your trade, or 100% confidence, and just staying true to that. That's challenging to stay true to that, man. It really is. Love that 200 day. It really gives a good idea of trying to. Yeah, I discovered this probably 7 months ago, 7, 8 months ago. And when I did, like it totally shifted things. When I started seeing the 5,200, so I actually discovered the 5,200 um, when I was trying to develop a crypto trading strategy, and saw how well it worked on crypto, and I was like, I wonder if this would work with stocks, and so I applied it to stocks, and what I did, like every time the 5,200 would cross, that's when like a real momentum move would happen to either direction, and I was like, whoa, I never thought about this thing, never knew about this thing, and since then, I apply it to everything that I do now. It's just it's just so, I don't know. It just makes it real obvious to see. Uh, and I've in every platform that I set up, whether it's for crypto or stocks or futures, in every single one of them that I've set up, I set up all of my indicators to be these colors. So the same colors on every software: Webull, Tradeovate, Thinkorswim, TradingView. Every indicator that I set up, it matches the same color scheme all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red candles in a row. This red candle having a lot of momentum to it. 10 red candles in a row. We've been red for 10 minutes. It's crazy. This one actually got a lot of downward momentum off of it. So off of that 4150 level, we've dropped almost $20. $18 we've dropped. $72 ticks at 2 contracts. Whoops. At 2 contracts, $1,800. Still pushing down. Let me find where the low was of the day. So we try to draw that in. Oh, our low is like way down there at 4118. We lost music. Let's get that music back going. Bring the party back. All right, we got a couple people watching. Yeah, having confidence in a trade, it's hard, and Tiny, it's not just hard about having the confidence in the trade. It's about like making sure that you're not taking trades that you don't feel confident in. Like that's the part that's actually the real challenge to me, is like if I have like 75% confidence or 55% confidence in that trade, like obviously, like if you have 100% confidence in every single trade all the time, there's something that's wrong. Like you shouldn't have confidence in every move all of the time. Like that's not right. But like you should at some point kind of question some things. But I think that like I think that if the trades that you take are ones that you can like stand behind, and you're like, okay, well this makes a lot of sense. Um, you know, um, I think it's going to go this way, and I have a lot of confidence that it's going to go that way. I think that that's when it's a bit better. Like those are the times that you should be taking trades, is when you have a really strong understanding of the movement. So this low, by the way, is based off of yesterday at 11:45 p.m. So this is like or like 11:35 p.m. last night. So which would actually be what, 2:15 in the morning, or sorry, 2:30 in the morning, Eastern time. So that's what this low is based off of. And so right now, with us being in this level here, you can see like, so we've got this very obvious downward trend forming. I don't know if we'll fall all the way down to 4118. This area honestly looks like it kind of held support in that zone. Now this was a area that it bounced off of here, and then it bounced off of here. So it'd be interesting to see if this actually acts as resistance. Am I like out of tracks or something? What's going on? Why is the music stopping? because I'm pretty sure that last track was a repeat. Hang on. Let's just start up at the top. Oh, okay. There we go. And we're like just going through like a couple of tracks. I want more tracks than this. All right. Got a couple people watching. Make sure y'all like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. All that stuff helps us grow the channel. Got a couple people watching. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, and all that stuff helps us grow the channel and everything like that. By the way, so we're up $90.12, up $358.16 in our evaluation. If y'all are looking to earn funding in the futures market, check out Elite Trader Funding. Elite Trader Funding is super dope. This program here is something that you guys can use to earn funding in the futures market. And you guys get to keep 80% of your profits after the first $12,500. For the first $12,500, you keep 100% of your profits. Super cool. Right now, you guys can actually use promo code JSBEST to earn 50% off for life on your evaluations. You can choose any of the evaluations that are here, with the exception of the fast tracks that applies to. And for that 50% off, you can get like a 10K evaluation for just $40. You do get a free reset at every rebill if you happen to have broken a rule or anything like that. So no worries on that front. Personally, I think the 50K evaluation is one of the best values in the marketplace. You get a $2,000 drawdown. It's such a huge drawdown, and you can take 8 contracts. So you can utilize that TOS strategy that I was using, where you can take three ticks at 5 contracts worth $187.50 before fees. So you certainly can grind this up pretty quickly up to that $3,000 profit target, utilizing the strategies that we've been using. But check out Elite Trader Funding. These guys are awesome. Love them. Their customer service is amazing. And, I only use and recommend, things that I use. So make sure y'all check them out. Great stuff there. Use the link in the description too, to make sure that this channel earns credit. We do offer, free community here, and all this content's free, but that stuff does help support the channel. We earn a small affiliate commission off of that. Also, all the other links in the description as well, guys. Make sure that you guys are subscribed to our email list, because we do send out reminders on our trade streams. We also have content that we will be sharing there that we don't share anywhere else. Specifically in regards to entrepreneurship and whatnot. I've been an entrepreneur for a little over a decade, and I actually started my very first business right at the 2008 market crash, and we were able to actually yield 6 figures at that time when the 2008 market crash happened. So I honestly am looking forward to a crash. I tend to thrive in crashing markets. So, we're definitely getting closer and closer to that crash. So yeah, check out that mailing list, guys, and make sure y'all sign up for that. And it's free, of course. And if y'all are looking to earn funding in the futures market, check out Elite Trader Funding using the promo code JSBEST and the link in the description. We are getting a bounce off the area that I said. So 4128 or so is the area, and this line here that we drew in is the line that we went down to earlier on this previous zone right in here. So we drew the line, the technical analysis here based off this one, and off of this one just dropping slightly below it. So here we also only dropped slightly below it, and are now coming back up towards it. It'd be interesting to see if this actually acts as resistance, this area here, or if we just get a flip. So we certainly could see a flip, although the indicators are indicating downward push, like a downward momentum, downward pressure. Try to say push and pressure at the same time. Got pusher. Pusher. 41.28 is our low of this area. 41.18 is the low of the day. Looking for more trades. Definitely was a lot of trade opportunity through that 10-minute rip downward. Definitely a lot of shorting opportunity in that area. Now I guess we're just kind of seeking out a trend reversal. Staying patient. Really important that we stay patient. Really important that we take trades that we have confidence in. Currently up $90.12 on the day. That's what we ended on. I think it was Friday. We ended up $90.12, right in that same area. Our first trade was a loser. Lost $108 on our first trade. Made it back over two trades with two trades at 3 ticks. So each one being worth $75 before fees, $66.28 after fees, putting us up that $90 on the day. We're not too far away from VWAP. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually start ripping back upwards in a trend reversal. But we got a long way to go on the TTM. And right now, there's very little movement in any direction, up or down. After this 10-minute rip downwards, look at that 10 red candles in a row. And 1, 2, 3 with momentum, and then some consolidation, and then 2 more with momentum. Honestly, it looks bearish. We officially went red on the day, by the way. We're down 0.17 on the day, which is what we were up 0.17 when we were up on that above VWAP. I honestly think that this is going to go up a bit. How much, I don't know. I try to get in here at 41.35 for a quick long. I'm actually going to switch this to 2 ticks though. How much time we got? We got 30 seconds left in this candle. That was the move I was looking for, actually. It's right there. $15 seconds left in this candle. So you remember what we said about taking trades with confidence? I don't have 100% confidence in this, so I'm not going to do it. Certainly could have, though. That actually would have been a decent trade. Going to pull back now. TTM is at -3. So still have a ways to go before the TTM turns around. But if we do get a cyan switch on the TTM, would likely see a move back up towards VWAP. In which case, I think that I might take a 5-tick swing. 5 ticks at $1.25, so that's a pretty big swing actually. But we're pretty close to a cyan switch, so we're still at -3, which is actually kind of, when we were here, we were -2.5. So -3 is not great. Let's check where we're at on TOS. On TOS, we got a possible crossover. So that's looking good in our favor. One thing I do like about having TOS charts up is just because I honestly think they're easier to interpret. That's the rip I was looking for right there. Looking for an entrance right here. Missed it. Just kind of went past us. Might get a pullback to it off 41.37. Cutting that. It's just not filling. Looks like it might have got filled right there. Red candle for the open. Still looking long here. I'm gonna fill right there.
Order filled.
Okay, we got that fill. We're looking for 5 ticks. It's kind of a swing. Currently down 3. Come on, up you go. 18 seconds left on this candle. I was hoping for more momentum in this candle.
Order filled.
I cut it right there with a slight profit. We're up 131.40 now on the day. So if we got 40, that would have meant we got 41.28. So that means we got 2 ticks. So 50 minus the 872, yeah, 41.28. Okay, so now we're up 131.40 on the day. I honestly think that this is gonna rip upward, at least. Like, so we just got the cyan switch there on the TTM. I wouldn't be surprised if we rip upward towards at least the 50. So we've got the 9 above the 12. They're about to cross over. And right at this crossover here, we should see a rip and potentially a test towards the view app. I'm glad I took that profit, though, because I just think it's important to be able to take profits along the way. We are 5 seconds away from a brand new candle, and that would have been the full rip. Just got a brand new crossover here. Gonna try and get in. Yeah, try and get in long there. I hesitated. He who hesitates is lost. So we didn't gain anything on that trade, unfortunately. I'm trying to get a better entry, but honestly, I think I might potentially be chasing. Okay, that's an entry right there.
Order filled.
And looking for 5 ticks again. Potentially use that 200 as resistance.
Order filled.
Cut it right there with $100 or so in profit. Yeah, I took 4 ticks off. So we're up 490.72 in the evaluation, 222.68 on the day. And you can see, so this area in here, right in here, this is the trend reversal that we're looking for. We got the cyan switch on the TTM. We've got the 9 and the 12 crossing over the 26. Very, very, very powerful move there. With both this indication and that indication, this is a very strong upward move to be able to take advantage of scalps through this area here. Earlier we got a crossover here on the 50-200 with the 50 to the downside. So I would not be surprised if this 200 acts as resistance, or possibly even this 50 acting as resistance. You'd want to see the 50 act as support for a period of time after this rip up here. You'd want to see it for like 2 minutes, or even like a minute or two, or even just a couple of minutes. It doesn't really matter necessarily the length of time, but the longer it holds as support, the less it's going to be able to support. So with the TTM now on cyan, and by the way, it is positive 5.1 on the TTM. It's pretty good. Let's pull it out here on TOS, easier to see. So yeah, it's pretty good on that. In that respect, we got that crossover. The next test really would be this 200 and the VWAP. So getting a flip to the downside here. Took an L in TOS. I don't really care that much. We honestly weren't even going to be trading with TOS anymore. In fact, I'm going to shut it down because the intention is not to trade with TOS. The intention is simply to trade on Trade-Evade. And honestly, I don't want that messing with my mindset, because one of the things about trading is that you almost need to be able to be both adaptable and one track minded at the same time. So having the ability to have a flexible mind is incredibly important when it comes to trading. Probably one of the most important skills that you can develop in trading is being able to have a flexible mind, but also being able to maintain confidence and one track mindedness about what it is that you were thinking is your trade plan, or what it is that you're essentially looking to do with your trading, whether that is like taking a swing trade or anything like that. You're definitely going to want to maintain that confidence and keep that one track minded about it, but also be open to the possibility or flexible to the possibility that you could be wrong and that you maybe need to adjust your strategy. After this little consolidation here around the 50, we're getting a break up through it. We pulled back all the way to the 9, bounced off that 9 EMA. The 9 EMA is currently crossing above the 35 on this current candle. 9 is still above the 12, which is nice in terms of bullish action. Zooming in here a little bit on the chart. We do have pretty good divergence here on the 9 and the 12. That's helpful as well for determining bullish action. We are getting a cool off on this cyan candle here on the TTM. So we may see a little bit more consolidation here before we see that trend reversal. We're basically flat on the day when it comes to the, and there we go, we just went flat. Flat looks to be 41.41, 25 or so. Looks to be flat on the day for the S&P, 41.41.25. And we're kind of like right at that, but we are under this 200, and that 200 could act as incredibly strong resistance, pushing that price downward. But you can see that we, as far as these indications go, and just to look at the chart, you can kind of see the momentum is shifting towards the upside. 9 is officially above the 35. The 12 is battling 35 right now, and neither of them have gotten above the 50 yet. Another cross over that 50 from the 9 and the 12 would be also looking very nice. Let's take a look at our 5-minute chart, and honestly, it does look like we're going to rip upward, though. We're going to take a look at our 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart is looking pretty great. We got this like U-shaped pattern here on the 5. Essentially, I'd want to see break over VWAP, and I want to see a break over this 4150 resistance level. Jumping back over to the 1-minute chart, we did get a nice rip right there. That was the rip I was hoping to take advantage of. This has a top right here at 4142.25. Officially going green on the day. Another pullback. Checking in with the chat. We actually got quite a lot of viewers here today. So kept mine at 1 tick. Yeah, that's cool. You saw me do that a lot, Tiny, because it's profitable. It really is. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We're currently up. We're earning funding in Elite Trader Funding right now. For those of you just joining us, we're currently up $490.72 on our evaluation, and our profit target is $2,000. So out of that, we are at 24.5% of our profit target in order to earn funding. We also need to trade for a minimum of 10 trading days, which we're about halfway on that. And we're currently sitting up $222.68 on trades on the day. So if y'all want to do what I'm doing, earn funding and elite trader funding, y'all can check out Elite Trader Funding. Use the link in the description. It helps support the channel. But right now, promo code JSBEST, you can actually get 50% off of all of these evaluations here. Everything you see, with the exception of the fast track evaluations. So that 50% is off for life. So it's a lifetime discount. Because essentially these guys are trying to get their name out there, and they're really awesome. Their customer service is great. So if you're worried about that, having responsive customer service, they've got you. I personally really look for that in a company. I think the 50K eval at the 50% off is one of the most competitive products in the marketplace right now. And you can get a $2,000 drawdown with a $3,000 profit target and take 8 contracts of the majors and 80 micros for just $82.50. So make sure y'all use that link in the description, support the channel, but also, secure that discount for yourselves. If you guys are looking to earn funding in the futures market, you can actually earn funding up to $300,000, by the way. So this is crazy. I mean, they'll give you an entire house to trade with. I think that's crazy, but they offer it. You can take 30 minis, 30 micros, or 30 small. I mean, that's such a huge amount of positions. You can take crazy size with this one. You got to draw down $7,500, profit target of 20K, and that's half off. So what is that? $327.50, something like that, which is a lot, but at the same time, you're getting 300 grand. You're getting an entire house to trade with, and you can take 30 positions at $12.50 per tick. So each tick is worth $375. A 3-tick move being $1,125 before fees. What would fees be on that though? I'm just curious. $130, pretty big, but still, I think worth it. So puts a whole new meaning on betting. Yes, it does. Whole new meaning on betting the house. Because they literally give you an entire house to trade with. I mean, 300K. I mean, it's insane. That's so much. But they offer it, and I think that's super dope that they give people the opportunity. Because I mean, honestly, my intention with futures trading is that eventually I want to be able to manage a multi-million-dollar account. Potentially even a private equity firm. I think that'd be awesome. Personally, I think that would be a huge goal of mine. I don't have any training in finance. I'm just a regular dude who put in work and effort in order to learn this stuff. Put in a lot of effort on watching Skillshares and YouTube videos in order to learn this type of thing. And I think anybody can learn it. I don't think you need to go to school for finance or any of that type of stuff. I just think that you just have to have the diligence to do it. But then you also need to have the self-awareness to know where you're messing up and how to correct it. Personal reflection is incredibly imperative as a skill in trading. I think that a lot of new traders get focused so much solely on the strategy, and the strategy matters. It really does. I'm not trying to discount that, but the mindset and the personal development that is necessary in your mind, your heart, and your soul, and sort of like a body spirit alignment. I think that aspect of that element of things is never talked about, and absolutely should be talked about, because it's so required in order to be successful as a trader. You could have the best strategy, but if you get in your feels because you're down in a trade or something like that, that to me expresses that you don't have confidence in your trading strategy, or that the other thing that happens too is that you let your trades run so far to the downside that you haven't taken your money off the table when you're continuing to burn it. So both are important to be able to notice when you're right and when you're wrong, and having the confidence to stick to that. So it's super important. I don't think unwarranted idiota confidence is a good trait, because then you're just bordering on ego. But ego can really get in your way with trading, and it might be mistaken for confidence. So that's why I'm saying personal reflection matters so heavily in trading. We're just looking for something here. We did get the 200 did act as resistance. You can see we came up, we tested the area, didn't hit exactly, but we tested the area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times and pushed down as a result. So, and the 912 never got above the 50. So I think that in order for us to be able to break out of this 200, this 9 and 12 has to get above the 50. Once that crossover happens, then I don't think the VWAP is going to stand much of a chance. I think it'll just rip up through the VWAP. This is a nice rip here. I don't love taking these the ones that the first candle to rip up. Looks like we're getting another test here. Brand new candle. Kind of worried this is going to fall down a little bit, but because the TTM went all the way down to basically neutral. So I don't have confidence necessarily this is going to rip up past this. I think in order for me to take this trade, I have to see. You can just see right here that the 9 dropped below the 12. So seeing that gives us kind of bearish movement. Seeing the TTM at neutral, that doesn't tell us whether or not we're going up or down. So no real trade there. I definitely could attempt to scalp this area. But why? That goes against what I was saying about having that confidence in that trade. So if I don't have 100% confidence, I'm not going to take it. Or at least 95% confidence. I'm getting a green dot on the TTM, but again, it's pretty neutral and slightly red. 50 now acting as resistance. 50 acted as resistance here and here, as well as here. So, and you can see we traded in this area. The 50 continuing to slide downwards slightly. So it was up at 41.40, and now it's at 41. It was up at 41.40.5. Now it's up at or down at 41.40. So it's kind of like ever so slight movement, but the 200 is trending downward with it, so it's okay. I still think that we're going to see the trend reversal, but this is a matter of when. I don't think that we're going to continue to rip downward. The SPY is basically break even on the day. It's 0.08% down, just barely down, not much. So definitely have pretty good viewership today. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We do this live every day at 7:30 Pacific time. That's 10:30 Eastern time. And we usually trade for about an hour. It just depends on what the market's doing. And we take anywhere from 1 to 5 trades or so. And in that time, we might make a couple $100, we might make $50, might lose money, of course. But we just try and make sure that we're staying safe. That's the most important thing, I think, for everybody when it comes to trading. But if you can make $200 a day in trading, you can make a living. You can make $1,000 a week. That's a living. So Tiny said, yes, I'm working on that part to figure out where I'm going wrong. I love introspection for sure. It's kept me safe and alive. Yeah, introspection so important to when it comes to your trading. I actually think that one thing that would be really valuable would be to tell me what you guys think would be like an introspection checklist, almost like a trade journal. Tell me if you guys think that would be something valuable that you guys would want to have. I could put that together for you guys if that's something that you're interested in. So just let me know in the chat if that's something you guys want me to do, and I can put that together for you. Just kind of follow, essentially put my thought process down on paper so that I can share that with you guys. Let me know if you guys want that. Over trading to get back in the swing of things. Okay, so we did get the 50 did act as resistance, not once, not twice, but thrice. Mr. Burns reference there. Uh, we get a crossover to the downside on the 912, but it's so close that there's no real trade here yet. Because this could be a false downward break. Especially because you can see we have almost like ascending support here. Actually, let's pull out. We do have ascending support. Look at that. It's pretty obvious ascending support there. New candle here. Getting a rip back up. I try to get in at like 41.39. I don't know if we can though. That's a big rip. $20 seconds. Joining the bid here.
Order filled.
I may be going a little aggressive though with 5 ticks.
Order filled.
I just cut it. Looks like I could have got the full 5. Up to 63.96 on the day. I cut it with so I think we took 2 ticks on that. 50 and we took 2 ticks on that. So that put us up another $40. I definitely could have got the full 5, which I honestly wish I had because that would have been 125 before fees. But the truth is, I'm really focused on staying safe. I've already failed a couple of evaluations. I'm not trying to keep paying for that. I'm not trying to keep doing that. I'm trying to earn this funding this time around. This is the one. This is the one that I am after. We're at $532 in our evaluation, and that puts us 26.6%. Huge rip to the upside. Awesome trend reversal. Coming up on the TTM. Pulling up against the 200. Now will we get a push above VWAP? Oops. Entry here would be like 41.75, like at the top of this wick, essentially. Might be a decent entry. But we are getting a pullback against that. Came up, tested 200. Now you see we tested this 200 area here, but now we actually hit it. We actually tap that 200. Getting a big rejection off that 200 at the moment. TTM is basically sitting in neutral. And S&P is about flat on the day, 0.01% down on the day. So it's roughly flat. I think that the market wants to break out. What do you guys think? What's your thoughts? I think it's about to break out. I think that we got a little bit of a ways to go, but not much. Let's see. That's a good idea. I suck at journaling my trades, which hasn't helped me get better. Yeah, journaling is hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. And I eventually opted to switching to journaling a couple of times a week as opposed to doing it for every single trade. A lot of times I ended up just journaling at the end of my trade day. In doing that kind of took a lot of the pressure off of journaling every single trade, because I think it can almost become convoluted when you trade, like journal that much. But journaling every day for like 5 minutes did help me in terms of reflection and asking myself, hey, did I even show up with the right attitude today? My attitude, I've had some days where like I woke up and the very first thought in my head was, you're going to lose today. And it's like, well, okay, how do I get out of that? Like how do you overcome that mindset when the very first thought of your day is you're going to lose? And so it takes a lot of effort, and I go through a process in order to change it when I start off the day that way. 200 acting as pretty tough resistance here, but the 9 and the 12 are in the position. They crossed over the 50 like we talked about. TTM is getting a very slight cyan switch, and we're back to flat on the day on the S&P. Wouldn't be surprised to see a little bounce off here, but if it does continue to reject at the 200 for a little bit more, we'd be looking for the 50 to act as support and almost for it to like trade in this range here. They had a really nice like U-shaped pattern breakout here Normally that U-shaped pattern though, like breaks right here to the upside, but instead came, had this break here. So I definitely wish we would have taken the full tick, the full 5. But not gonna kick myself. We did pull a green trade out of it, so, and that's what matters. For trades on the day, we've had one red trade, which was $100. So you see, we took 7 trades. We had one loser at so total profit was $425. Our gross profit on the day though is $325. That's before fees, and our win ratio right now is 85%. So that's where we're at the moment. Sitting at 1.1 on the TTM. Kind of a longer stream than normal today, just because of the movement in the market and the engagement here. When you guys show up, and it honestly inspires me to want to keep going, and it inspires me to want to make more content, frankly. So just took that trade. I know this was a couple minutes ago, but I wanted to throw it up here. Just took a trade with you, made $62.50 on it. Good job, by the way. Now, if it were live, I would lose. I don't know about that, which I still don't understand. We need more introspection, as we discussed. So, Tiny, this happened to me where I was like, right here, where if I go live, I lose. I asked myself why that is, and the only answer I was able really to come up with was that I was coming up, I was getting in my head, really. That's basically it, is that I was getting in my head about why is that happening? Why can I earn $4,000 a day in paper and sim trading? And why do I lose every time I go live? At least for a while I was sussing things out. And one of the things I came up with was, well, when you're live, you have fees. Unless you're trading in TOS, and even TOS does have futures trading fees. They're very small though; they're like $2.50. But when you go real money, it changes your mindset, because all of a sudden it feels like there's something on the line. And one thing that worked for me was just trade like I'm in the simulator. Just trade like I'm in the simulator. And I would just kind of like repeat that mantra, and that helped me with my trades. But also the other thing was, when I'm in the sim, I know there's like no consequence, and so I take trades that I otherwise wouldn't take. And even though I trade a lot, like I'm like high frequency trading in the simulator, I would never do that in real life, because the fees would eat me alive. And aside from the fees themselves, like even if I'm making profits on the trades, I'm exposing myself a lot more frequently. So it's just like driving. The more you drive, the higher chance you have of getting in a car accident. While at the same time, if you don't drive, then you're going to be nervous when you do. And so, as there's sort of like this healthy balance of like, you got to get out there, you got to drive, because that's going to make it so where you're not nervous when you do. But at the same time, like if you're driving all the time, you're going to be tired sometimes when you drive, or sometimes you might drive when you're emotional or sad, and whatever those were in your head about something, or just spaced out. And if you're driving at those times, you can end up hurting yourself or hurting others. And so, it's just like that when it comes to trading, like you got to make sure that you got that sleep in, and that when you're there, you're present, in order to prevent yourself from hurting yourself, and drive safely, trade safely. So, I guess it might be a weird analogy, but that's kind of how I see it. we got really solid resistance off that 200. The 200, and you guys have heard me say this before, the 200 is such a strong area of resistance that breaking over it matters so tremendously in stocks, crypto, and futures. And just really just anything I've ever traded before, the 200 moving average has acted as such strong resistance level that I absolutely try to make sure that I'm always flat for a position around here, just because it could break out, but the likelihood of that is less than it acting as resistance. The best time for breakout trading above the 200 that I've found in my own personal experience is when this green line, this 50 EMA, crosses above this 200 simple moving average. When that happens, that's usually when we actually see a real switch from that bearish movement to that bullish movement, and we see that switch turn into something that is far more of a powerful, momentous move to the upside. So, whew, a lot of knowledge today. I feel like I'm dropping knowledge. I hope so. Anyway, to me, I was like, man, I wish somebody told me that so much earlier on about this stuff. Yeah, fees are a big part of it. Once I get past the mental hurdle, I know I can be consistent and then be profitable. And Tiny, that's just, I honestly think that you can. And you're one of the traders who I actually have a lot of confidence and belief in. And I have a lot of that confidence and belief because when I see you on paper, first off, I see you showing up daily. That right there already puts you heads and tails above so many other traders out there. The fact that you show up and that you're consistent, Tiny, that gives me a lot of belief in you. Second off, I see you doing the work. I see you show up. I see you trading paper. I see you working on your strategy. I see you working on yourself. So that right there also gives me confidence in your ability to succeed at this. And also too, I see you, making, I see you making profits a little bit here and there every day. And if you could trade the same way in real life as you do in a simulator, I think that you'll have a lot of that success. So the question becomes, how can I trade my live account the same way that I trade in a simulator and stay safe? How can I do that? Start asking yourself that question. Your brain will start filling in those answers for you. I'm just pausing here because I'm seeing you can see we pulled back, but not by much. That it's TTM basically stayed neutral, and the TTM now switched to the cyan switch. We're getting another push up to the upside. I'm going to join the bid there, see if we actually get filled. Actually going to exit that. It should have ripped up faster than that, and also that we didn't get filled. So, how much time we got? We got 10 seconds left on this candle. I wish I would have taken like this entry like right here for that move up. There's a lot of retracement on that candle right before a switch, so next candle might show up as a red. TTM on that cyan, we're at 0.7 on it now. Coming up 41.40, which is basically flat on the day. So we're at the flat point of the day, which is where a lot of the trading has happened. It's basically sideways. We got 9 above 12, and that's passing above 35. Basically, everything is looking bullish here, with the exception of being under the 200. I'm really interested in trading this breakout once it happens. It really looks like this wants to have a breakout day. But in order for us to do that, I just think that we need to get above the 200. This would have been a really nice range in here to trade. You see, we've taken other trades like that today. I'm pushing harder than I normally do, but I also don't have decision fatigue. So, which, if you notice, that's like the main thing I ask myself after every trade. Am I having decision fatigue? I can tell I'm getting close to it, but we're not quite there yet. Got a little mini flag here. Not enough movement. Not the movement that I want to see, because it's basically just trading this very small range. You guys know my philosophy on flags, by the way, which is essentially a flag is not bullish or bearish. A flag is simply an indication of momentum move to an up or downside. That is my personal definition of a flag. I know that there are other people who would disagree with that. That's cool. We disagree. But in my experience, a quote unquote bull flag doesn't always work out, and a bear flag, same thing. And in my experience, I've tried to trade flags a lot of the time, and a lot of times they just end up being false breaks. So I stopped trading them a long time ago as a result of that. So they're just flags. Yeah, exactly. Just catching up on the chat here. EMA crossover is very important. Thank you. Yeah, of course, Tiny. Yeah, that is the question. How do I trade live the same way I trade in paper? I have to formulate that, which I can't do. I know you can. I know you can do it. Everybody else knows that you can do it too. You know, I see you on some of the other channels, and when I see you there, like I see you showing up, Tiny, and that's so important. Like the fact that you're just showing up and that you're learning all the time. Like I fully believe that you got this. 2022 is your year. I think that you absolutely can do this if you take it slow and like if you're feeling emotional about anything at all, take a step back, take a sip of your tea or your coffee or whatever, and do some breathing exercises. That always helps me. If I was on paper, would I take the trade? Yeah, exactly. If not, then no. If so, then I go. This right here. Super true. Very true. Another rejection off that 50. Or off that 200, sorry. I considered taking that doji right there before we switched over to the chat, but that would have been nice for that 5 tick up. Big rejection off the 50. Or I keep saying the 50. Off the 200. I think I'm actually going to shut it down right there. Up to 63.96 today. Very good day. Very happy with it. Up 532 exactly in my evaluation. And having done all that, thank you so much, everyone that tuned in. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Please like, please subscribe, please ring the bell for notifications, and please join our mailing list. Our mailing list is the very first link in the description. When you sign up to that, you'll get email reminders about our stream, which we do every Monday through Friday at 7:30 Pacific time. That's 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, market time. And on top of that, we also will begin sharing content there that we don't share anywhere else. We've shared a little bit so far, and we're going to continue to share more. So I've been an entrepreneur for multiple years, and I'm excited to start sharing that stuff with you guys. If anybody's interested in learning how to develop a digital business, I'm happy to share with you guys, and I'm excited to jump back into that game. So by the way, guys, also too, if you want to earn funding in Elite Trader Funding or any futures market for that matter, check out Elite Trader Funding. This is the one that I'm personally doing to earn. But even if you guys are trying to earn somewhere else, that's totally cool. You guys can still follow the strategies. But right now, if you use the link in the description, you can use promo code JSBEST, and that JSBEST will actually give you 50% off for life for any of the evaluations that you see here, with the exception of the fast tracks. And personally, I think the 50K evaluation with a $2,000 drawdown and 8 contracts available on the minis is probably one of the best values out there. 50% off. So for $82.50, you get a $2,000 drawdown spot. That's a lot. be sure to check them out. And lastly, guys, if you are interested in trading stocks, crypto, or options, check out Webull. If you use the link in the description, you'll earn 6 free stocks just for signing up. So you'll automatically be in the green once you fund your account. Webull has great software. I trade with them all the time. So be sure to check all that stuff out, guys. Thank you, everybody who showed up today. We had a lot of viewership here today. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. And 11, appreciate you. I hope you guys get a little more active in the chat. Just announce yourself. Let us know you're here, because when you're active in the chat, that just lets me know you're here. Just lets me know you're having fun. You guys can also ask questions that I'd be happy to answer for you. So, all right, guys, with all that said, rounding the day up, $263, and 11, appreciate each and every one of you. Peace. We'll see you tomorrow.